This presentation will demonstrate how to use your tuition proposal when you're actually seeing a student. Now in our previous examples, we have set up a cosmetology template and a medical assistant template for our 524 start. So in this example, we're going to be looking at an independent student for the medical assistant program. So we're going to go open our template. We're going to make sure that we're on the Independent tab. And now we need to enter the student information. John Doe, Jane Doe for the admissions rep, date prepared, and student number. And that is the Campus View student number, which you will have if you've enrolled the student at the beginning of the appointment because you've had the enrollment agreement, and the student would be in FA pending at this juncture. Now we need to enter the student's financial aid awards. Now we've made it very easy for you to do this, but I'm going to show you if you want to do it manually. You'd be able to go down. Our financial aid awards are broken down into grants, student loans, and other fund sources. So the grants are going to be your Pell, your SEOG, ACG, and SMART, and then your loans are going to be your Stafford or direct loans, and then you are going to have your other fund sources. This is going to be scholarships and agency. Now if a student has a normal student, we're just going to say is going to be a 0 EFC and needs full loans to cover the rest of their cost. We're going to type in a 0 EFC here at the top. Now this automatically has populated all the Pell Grant information for the student, and we can see that for each term it's automatically determined which award year they're going to get paid out of. Now this is based off of our campus setup tab when we said pay the highest amount for a crossover period. So in this first term, it actually starts 524, but it's crossover. So the highest award for this student is out of 1011. If you disagree with any of these calculations, you can just type in you can just click anywhere and you can type in the correct amount. Or if an EFC is different from one award year to the next, you could type in 5,000 here, and now all the Pell is gone for 1011, and the only Pell remaining is 910. But we're going to put that back. And you can see now that this went back to 1011 for the crossover. Next part is going to be if you have SEOG, ACG, or SMART, you're going to have to type in the amount for each term. So for SEOG, we're going to award $600 for the first academic year, so that's $200 per term. Next thing that we're going to do is now we're going to look at student loans. Now the student loans automatically calculated to just the amount that the student needs to pay all of their tuition and fees for the program. The total amounts you can see on the left here. This is going to be the amount for academic year 1, academic year 2, academic year 3, total sub and unsub for the entire program, total amount of all loans, and then their estimated monthly payment. So here it's $167.43. So we can tell the student is way under the actual maximums that they can borrow, but under this they're not going to get any stipends. They're just covering the cost of the program. Now anything to the left of this red line will not show up on the tuition proposal when you print it out. So this is your work area over here. And for these loan amounts, we can go in here and we can change these. Say a student is interested in wanting to get the max loan so that they can get living expense money. Well, all we have to do is go in and we can just type in the max loan amounts. So this would be $4,000 and $2,000 because we're dealing with an independent student here. Now we can see that the loans have all maxed out for AY1 and 2. The max loan's $20,000, and now their monthly payment has skyrocketed up to $230 per month. So now you can show them exactly, okay, you're taking out this much more, and now you've got this is how much you're going to pay in student loans. They may at that point say, whoa, that's a lot of money. I only want to borrow the amount to pay just school. At that point, you'd have to go in and retype in the information just to cover costs. Now down at the bottom here we've got this is their balance or their credit after all funding is considered, and this is broken down on a term by term basis. So for the first term they're not going to get any stipends because they have more charges than funding, but second term they're going to be eligible for a $901 stipend, even though their credit for the actual term is $1,050, because part of that $1,050 has to go to pay that $149 from term 1. So this will give an accurate number to them of what's going to show up on their ledger card. Now this could be off by a few dollars or even a couple $100 depending on your books. We did the best we could to give you an estimate on your books, but that can change, and it is just an estimate. So, you know, it could be $100 less for one term and $100 more for another term. You know, the students are just going to have to understand that based on how you're explaining it to them. And you can see that there's a date populated here of when they can expect to get their credit balance. So your guidance to them is on that date, that's when they want to go out to the student portal and request their stipend. That date is in week about 7 of the term, which means you'll have plenty of time to get all of their loans and Pell paid and on their account, and it makes sure that all the books and supplies have been posted for that term. And it populates, and then over in academic year 2 you can see that each term they're going to get a stipend because they maxed out all their loans. Now in this example, you'd be able to give them a reasonable expectation. You're no longer having to tell them come back and see you later. And when you have this printout, you're going to save a copy of this for the student, so the student never loses their paper, that you can print out a new copy for them and you can go over it with them again. So you'll actually be able to show them information. Now for this student, there's not going to be any student payments here at the bottom. Everything's going to be 0 because they have no balance remaining to pay. So what we need to do is we need to go and we need to take away their Pell. Let's say that they have an EFC of 5,000. Now there's no Pell, their loans are still maxed out, but now they have a balance due for each term, and a total balance of $5,675 for the program.